All right, it's 8 o'clock. I would like to officially call the Brimfield Township Trustee meeting of November 18th, 2020 to order. Roll call for attendance, John.
All those in attendance, Mike,
Yes.
Sue, Nick,
Yes, Sue, you are muted.
Hey, I'm here.
all right, hi Sue,
All right,
full board.
perfect. All right, we will forego the Pledge of Allegiance because we are all virtually attending at this point, but we will observe a moment of silence for meditation and prayer. Okay. All right, let's start at the beginning here. We have, we'll get to our meeting guest in 1 minute. Announcements and correspondences. Sue, do you have any announcements or correspondences?
No.
Okay, Mike, any announcements or correspondences?
Yeah, I had that one correspondence yesterday at the restaurant. A lady was very upset. She called me while I was flipping eggs, which made me very upset. But she wanted to complain about a local gas station on 18 and business people from a construction company down on 18, that they all come into the gas station with no mask, and she wanted us to do something about it. I wasn't going to call Roy because there's nothing we could do, but she wanted us to be aware of it, and I reached out to Nick because I know he knows something about work, what's going on. And he said that eventually there will be a hotline, right, for these.
Yes, actually, I have that hotline number now. So if anybody wants to write this down, if you get any complaints related to masks, they need to call 1-833-427-5634. So once again, that's 1-833-427-5634. That's the Ohio Department of Health hotline to report mask violations. It's 1-833-4-ASK-ODH. That's their hotline that is active and it is being monitored. So if we get any complaints at the town hall, it's not a piece that we handle. The Ohio Department of Health is now handling that. We would direct them to that phone number.
Yeah, I think maybe on one of our posts on maybe Facebook or something, I'll do something about it. It's just, it's not I don't know if they think I'm going to call the police and have them go up and arrest people. We just have to get it clear what our responsibility is. So That's all I had.
Okay. And I really didn't have any announcements or correspondences either. I'll have some stuff a little bit later in public comment. So with that, anybody else have any announcements or correspondences they need to say? Seeing a bunch of head shaking. Okay. We'll move into meeting guests. We'll just go by order of agenda. Mike Collins, you are up first, sir, with the OPWC grant.
Yeah, thank
Good to have you.
Thank you guys for letting me join today real quickly. I don't want to steal any of Dave's thunder, but your guys' How Road project from the subcommittee slate was approved. So you guys are looking real good to get that How Culvert project funded. We did send out for final applications last Friday, so you guys should be getting that application here in the near future. And they're due back end of December. I'll work with Dave on the engineer's estimate and all that good stuff. And then we'll just ask you guys to appoint, which usually is Mike, to sign for the OPWC final application. And you guys have done quite a few of these over the years. I think you guys are up to 6 now or so, 6 years in a row. So your batting average is really well. But this project is a little bit special, and that's the only reason I'm on here, is that where that culvert is located, it's actually within the limits of the city of Talmadge a little bit with the annexation lines. They kind of get a little goofy on Howell Road between Mogador and that Crystal Parkway. So what I did is I had our surveyor go out there and mark all annexation lines, and we went off footages. So what's going to happen is it's a 50-50 grant, just like usual. But then that other 50% of the local share, City of Talmadge is actually going to fund partial of that because technically that culvert is within the city limits by a certain percentage. So with that being said, what will happen next is OPWC has intergovernmental agreements templates that they use when these situations happen. So the good news is the 50% of the local share, actually, part of that's going to come from Talmadge. So it's going to be even a lower percentage from Brimfield Township themselves. And we'll work all the details. Obviously, with yourself, John, you'll have to be heavily involved. And then our prosecutor, along with Brett, I believe your guys' prosecutor, has already reviewed and approved these templates in the past. So it's pretty straightforward, but I just wanted to get on and kind of talk to you guys personally before you see all this stuff coming across your guys' desk and wondering what an intergovernmental agreement is and why we're doing this and why we're doing that. So that's why I asked Dave to kind of join you guys on this meeting. And I just wanted to kind of open it up to any questions at this point in time with how everything works and how we're going to move forward. We're a little early in the game, but I always like to get a hold of you guys right away when we get a approval for the subcommittee.
Hey, Mike, have we had any conversations with Talmadge yet? Do they seem like they're on board of meeting that match of that 50%?
Absolutely. Talmadge is already on board. I've copied Dave in the email, so they are well aware of the grant. We started this, unfortunately, with OPWC. Everything got shifted due to the COVID pandemic. And we got with them. They're on board. We actually met them out there on site a while back, and they're more than on board with funding this project on the local end.
Okay.
When do we estimate this project would start?
So with OPWC regs, it'd be July 1st of 2021 will be when it starts. Within that grant, you guys actually we have money set aside for design. So when we would go to hire a designer, which I'm assuming probably February, March, we'll go out and hire a designer on your guys' behalf, design the project. Of course, that'll be a 50-50 split grant. And then, of course, within that 50%, Talmadge will be fronting that money also. We'll get it all designed, go to sale in June, just like any of your other OPWC projects. We have plenty of money for construction inspection also, similar to what you guys did with OmniPro for your paving jobs and the Malloy-Selnick culvert. And I would say we can get this thing completed just like we did the Malloy-Selnick in a very similar fashion.
Hey, Mike, does Omni, do they have the requirements to do culvert pipes, or do they, I mean,
so
what's
Omni,
their vast of experience?
Yeah, OmniPro, and there's all kinds of consultants out there, but OmniPro, using them as an example, they are ODOT approved because in order to get reimbursed for OPWC funds, they have to be, all consultants have to be ODOT approved in order to design, inspect, anything. So we just make that a requirement of all the consultants that are on our statement of qualifications.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Hey, Mike, if we had a catastrophic failure of that pipe before that July 1st deadline, how does that affect the funding?
So
is it a piece where we have to like shut the road down and just wait it out till July 1st, or can we move the project up if we found a catastrophic failure?
So there is emergency situations that happens, and you can do there's two ways to go about it. We have to meet with the district in order to get prior approval to that July 1st. Say it fails, they can forward emergency funds, or you can go on the opposite side and fund the project completely and get reimbursed with that OPWC funds after July 1st. So obviously the culvert, our bridge engineer did rate it a while back, and it is in pretty bad shape. And that's why, frankly, it got funded. I mean, you guys got 3,700 cars a day on that road. So, I mean, it's definitely an important culvert to replace.
Right. Well, that was my concern. I just know with some of the state grants that it can be a little difficult to spend prior to disbursement of funds. So I wanted to make sure that we were in the clear if we needed to.
Yes, you'd have to meet with the district, so I can't say you're in the clear, but that situations have happened like that before.
Okay.
Hey, Mike,
All right. Do we?
just a quick question, and maybe I missed this already, but how long do you think the project will take?
So we can limit, being that Howell Road is so busy, When it comes to construction, we can actually work it out in the construction contract to limit the duration. We did something similar to Malloy. I think we gave it like 45 days. And Grade Line's a phenomenal contractor. They were in and out of there, I think, in a week, if I remember correctly,
Okay.
for the Malloy. But we can limit that.
With the number of cars that travel that road, and there's really no quick way around.
No, for emergency, for you guys on that end, I mean, you'd have to go through the Crystal Parkway, unfortunately.
And that's okay for us. I'm just saying if people are hitting Howe Road to go to Talmadge, there's no quick option but to go
Yeah,
to.
no, you're absolutely correct. And we can definitely, in the contract, limit the days. You can go it's a pretty small culvert in all reality. We could even limit it to 30, but we can work that out with Dave when we get to construction design.
Okay, just wondering. Thank you.
All right, do we have any other questions for Mike? All right,
Thanks for
hearing
all your
none.
help,
All right,
Mike.
well,
You've always
thank
been a
you.
big help to Brimfield, so thank you.
Oh, no problem. Anytime.
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate you logging on early and giving us the update. Thank you for all that you do.
Absolutely. Have a good day, guys.
Take care.
All right, thank you, you too.
Bye.
All right, next we have meeting guest Craig Lemasters talking about some monument signage for the township. I'm going to turn it over to you, sir.
All right, good morning, everybody.
Hey, Craig.
As you know, I own Graphic Detail in Brimfield up in Carg, so I'm familiar. I've met almost everybody. You guys came to me asking for some monument sign ideas, and we've worked that up with some pricing. These are just budgetary numbers I'm going to show you, and these are just starting ideas for everybody. We're not locked into making this. What you see today is not necessarily what you guys are going to get, but it gives you guys a direction. So I'm going to go to my screen share, and hopefully this works. If not, sorry. I got to find it now. Oh, here it is. All right. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Yes, we're seeing internally lighted signs.
Internally lighted sign. Okay, but I got to get to the first page, and for some reason it's not letting me move. Is Brian available because I can't move around or point to, can you see my pointer?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
I can
we
see your pointer.
pointer.
Whatever you
How
can
do I
see
go?
on your screen, Craig, we can see.
Okay. Problem is I'm trying to move to another page and it won't let me. How do we do that?
So this is what, a multi-page PDF here?
Yes.
So scroll down on this PDF. I think,
There it goes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we designed this to go two different directions. We've got a small base monument, which is this, and it's a small base at the bottom that's masonry. And then we have a large base, which is the small base with the tower to the left. Okay. Now what we've done here is this is an internally lit sign. Okay. Which means there's LED bulbs inside of it. It's a traditional cabinet. And we can do any of these three faces over here or any other design you come up with. I just want to let you know, we're not locked into this particular design. And then on the back side, we're going to do the thank you for, you don't really want to light the back side because people are leaving town. You don't want to express that, in my opinion. But on the back side of all these, we'll have a thank you for visiting. And we can either do thank you for visiting Brimfield or just leave it thank you. It's however you guys decide. At night, it would approximately look like this if you internally light it. So you won't see you'll hardly see any of the masonry at night. Okay.
Okay.
So, and there's two prices here. That price is a budgetary number. We're trying to figure in all that's foundation, that's block work, that's the lighted sign and everything. The only thing that these numbers don't include is getting power to my sign. Okay. That I can't control. I think you guys can handle that because that's got to be dealt with coming off poles and all that stuff.
Yeah, we can get that. Craig,
Okay.
is that price for one sign or is that for 4 signs?
That's for one sign.
Okay.
Okay. Now I have another PDF. So Brian, how do I get to the other? I need to go to my desktop. How do I go to my desktop?
The way you normally would. We see your computer screen, so minimize. Yep, right there.
But it's not doing it. It's locked.
Try clicking. Can you try clicking on the Brimfield monument in your top taskbar there? Because it looks like you already have it open.
Top taskbar. Oh yeah. No, it won't let me do it. So
You can temporarily stop screen sharing, change what you're looking at, and start screen sharing back up again.
okay. All right. So stop share. All right, I'll be right back. If something happens, okay. So now I should be able to minimize you guys, right?
Yes.
Yes.
See, it's still giving me a locked condition.
On your keyboard,
Okay.
press the Windows key and the D key at the same time, and that should minimize everything, including Zoom.
Windows and what?
D as in dog. It should get you back to the desktop.
There we go. Okay.
Go.
Okay, now you guys there?
Yeah, we're still
Yep.
here.
All right, now I have to go back to the meeting.
Go back to Zoom and go back to sharing.
Why is it not giving me my Zoom now?
So down at the bottom of your screen, you should see a Zoom icon.
And I'm not. Shoot.
Um,
I can rejoin. I mean,
no. Let's come up with a different way to do this here. I'll send a window to you real quick. I'm going to stop your video, and then I'm going to request your video come back up, and that should give you a pop-up. Yes, to start video. All right. You should see Zoom up on your screen now.
yeah, it says install a version, install later for that, right?
Install later. You don't want to upgrade Zoom during a meeting.
And I did that and nothing happened.
You should now see all of our faces. And at the bottom, you should see the share screen icon. It's green.
No, I'm not.
Are you seeing Zoom right now?
Nope.
No? At the bottom of your screen, where you see the start button on the left, you see your icons at the bottom. You should see a Zoom icon down there.
And the Zoom, I see. Okay, so
Down at the bottom of your screen, you see
update.
tell it not to update.
Okay. Well, then it's not giving me, it's not letting me go any farther. That's the problem.
You can close Zoom and rejoin the meeting.
Well, I think I got it. Hold on. I'm so sorry, everybody.
Okay, we all understand.
All right, so on my Zoom icon, it's giving me it gives me a meeting ID and a copy invitation and stuff, but it's not giving me our meeting.
Well, you're still in the meeting. You're probably back in your email at this point if you're seeing meeting ID.
So
Can you find the Alt key and the Tab key on the keyboard?
yeah.
Hold down the Alt key and then tap the Tab key until Zoom comes up.
Got it. Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. Now I'm back. Okay. All right. I'll share screen now. Okay. So this is can everybody see it now?
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So this
Yes.
is the directional. Here's our idea. I actually like better than an internally lit sign. I like to do on these monument signs, I like to do a dimensional sign. So all these letters.
It's better to, sorry, excuse me.
Okay. All of these letters will be like dimensional, so that it creates a dimension on the sign, kind of like it's carved, but we're not going to do it like a carved sign because they don't last very long. And then what we do is we can do a light bar that shines up against the sign. Now we can do it a couple different ways. So this is what it looks like with the small base and then the large base. And like I said, there's a large full-length LED bar that mounts to the sign itself and shines up on it. And then when we go to the bottom here, so it will light all the lettering and everything from that standpoint. So that's your two different options, okay? But there's a third option, and that is to move this light bar down to the ground, okay? And then when we light it, we can actually light the whole brick, the whole brick monument, which I think would look amazing, okay? The cost to do this type of sign is cheaper than to do the internally lit sign. So, so that's it. That's just some options for you guys. We're guessing the size, the actual size of the sign's approximately 48 inches tall by 96 inches wide, so 4x8. The overall, like on this one, is 8 foot tall, and 144 wide. Now we can modify that to fit, because I don't know how much footprint you're going to get, so we can modify any of that you need. So,
Craig, is that going to get covered with snow though? The one on the ground?
the lights,
Yeah.
well, we raise them up it'll be raised up like 2 foot on
Okay.
on like stanchions. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yes, there could be a time with drifting and stuff where it might, get covered up.
No, 2 foot is fine. I just didn't know if it was right on the ground and we got 2 inches of snow and we couldn't see the lights.
No, we want to build it up high enough that, you can weed eat underneath of it and be able to, you know what I mean? You don't want it sitting on the ground. So,
Okay.
You just get the road department a couple of snow shovels.
I agree.
On these signs, if we wanted to add some stuff on the column, if we went with the big base sign, that up and down column, be it Lions Club, JC's, whatever it is, whatever those organizations we have posted, is there a way to cut out some of that brickwork and put or attach to the front of that brickwork 2 or 3 signs down the side?
Yes.
Okay.
But boy, I sure wouldn't want to do that. Couldn't we just get another pole and, that's so beautiful. Just a thought.
I was thinking if it was inlaid in it, Mike, like if they cut the brick out, it was kind of set back into the brick with a nice, not a cheap sticker on the front, but an actual wood cut piece or whatever. Might look kind of nice.
The only thing is,
I'm just looking away.
you only have 3 feet of width
Okay.
in the column. And if you cut that down, then now you're only 2 foot. And if you're driving down the street, if we cut a hole in here, or even if we take it right out to the edge, a 30-inch wide sign driving down the road is pretty ineffective for people to read. If it's going to be,
Yeah, I was concerned about that.
that would be the only thing. What about if this sign, what if there was a single line copy board built into this? Would that help, like for announcements or anything like that?
I don't know. I just like seeing Brimfield Township. That's all they need to see.
Craig,
Okay.
how hard is
Right.
it if we thought about this to do another single pillar to the left
Yeah, but that almost looks cheesy, John, if we start adding too many signs. I don't know.
I
Yeah.
just didn't know if you put it all together in a package like that. I didn't know what it would look like.
I mean, you could widen this column out, you know, add 2 more feet to it, you know.
Well, I don't think it's necessary that we have to put the names of the organizations in town.
I really like that sign right there, how it is. That's my favorite by far.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah, no, I like the large base because to be
Yeah.
honest, the other comment is that the small base ones might be a good alternative then for the parks because we've been talking about the branding, right? So as we redo those park entry signs, you could use the small base setup or look for the parks and the large base for the entry to the township. Now you have consistent marketing throughout the township.
Sure, I agree. That sign too with the internal lighting one, that's like a normal sign that could get busted, right? This one's not going to get it broken, and the lights will be easier to switch, won't they?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so the internally lit one, you're going to have, that's just like a sign mounted in front of Walmart, okay? It's built like that with a slide-in face, have LEDs down it, but it will take, like if kids want to drive by and throw a brick through it, it will break. The Brimfield Township sign's it's a solid built item. It's PVC layered on top of each other. It's not hollow. You know, it's like the letters are 1 inch thick mounted to a 1 inch thick background. You know, it can be fixed and repainted, which is nice about that. Okay.
Okay.
Compared to the other one can always be fixed. It's just it becomes, and then your faces, to be honest with you, a sign face is expected to last 5 to 7 years before fading and before you have to reface it. This sign here will last, you might have to go back and just retouch up some of the paint occasionally, but it'll be pretty much a solid, like the whole background will be a solid color of white that's solid all the way through. I've had signs like this. We did the one for Lepo in Talmadge, and it was up 17 years before we repainted it. So it'll give you a pretty long life before you even have to touch it again. So,
okay. Does anybody like the other colors on the other side?
No.
No, I don't.
So we're all with this.
I like just the way it's displayed here.
Okay.
Beautiful.
I agree.
We can do these in like one at a time. We can do, we can plan all 4 at the same time. It doesn't matter to us. I can handle whatever capacity you want. I'm actually going to use, to do the masonry and all that stuff, I'm actually going to use Silver Star I got my pricing from Silver Star Excavating, which I don't know if you guys know is Jared Phillips from Suffield.
Yep, I know him.
He's done all my work for years. He's my most trusted person that I would put on a job like this. And this could be broken up to where you could get his cost. Okay. I'm not marking his cost up. So you guys could, if it's easier for you guys to go direct to him, or I can just handle it for you. It doesn't matter. So.
I'd just rather put it all on you, Craig.
Okay.
Let you handle it all.
Well, I did want to make a comment that the burgundy color on this big sign is the same color that's on our Brimfield flag that we had a few years back. Maybe you could incorporate our flag somewhere around close with that sign. Just a thought.
Shelf right there.
Yeah, I mean, we can do whatever you guys, I mean, like I said, we can continue on layouts and stuff. It's no big deal. Do you guys have a time frame of when you thought you would, when you would
ASAP.
finished?
Yeah, next week would be great.
Okay. I'll get my shovel and start digging. So,
So
yeah.
we could do this for $65,000, all of them,
Yes.
and just
all
be
4.
done.
You got the money, John?
Yeah, we'll have the money for that. Definitely. And I think that I'll double check, but that might fall under the M&I as well, since it's,
Yes, it probably would, John.
yeah, I mean, it's welcoming people, marketing our town.
Yep, improving the JED.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna turn around, they're gonna think they're in Hudson or something.
Right.
Well, and I
I would like
add
to,
another layer to this for you, for what we can do. If you can tell me if you guys can figure out where you're putting them, I will go take photos of that area and transpose this sign on that location. Okay? So you guys can work out how far you want from the, we can help you guys lay this out so it's in the best place you guys can put it. Okay?
Dave, how much do we go off the road property wise? He's trying to unmute himself. Brian, can you unmute him?
I'm working on it. Give me a second. Screen sharing makes it a little bit more interesting.
No, I can turn on screen share.
Have to unmute. No, we're good. Dave has an unmute request. While we're waiting for Dave to unmute, are there any options for solar so we don't have to bring in Ohio Edison in a poll?
There is, but the solar doesn't give you, you would have to mount large panels, okay? And they would have to have battery backup system. And now you're going to double or triple the cost.
Okay.
Because you got to think the solar, you know, you got to have a way to store it. So then you're going to do a large battery backup array. You're going to almost have to build a cabinet, and you don't want the cabinet near the sign. So you have to build that trench, put batteries in there, and then you're going to have to set up like a 4x5 panel solar array to generate enough that, and then you would it might not even make it through the whole night,
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Hey, John, you hear me now?
Yeah.
Hey, the setbacks, we would have to check with ODOT and the county where the signs, I think where you're stipulating putting them.
Yeah.
I don't know what the setbacks are off the roadway in them areas.
Well, because don't we have signs? I mean, we have
Yeah,
signs on 18 West and 43 North that are bigger than normal. Is that?
Yes, yeah, you got two pretty good signs on them areas.
But I know on 18 East, it's just like a road sign that's there.
What we would do is, Craig,
Well,
once you get those locations, we could go back to Mike Collins and let him handle it with ODOT.
Okay.
I think that's the best bet. Get one person involved from the county. That'd probably be Mike, and then we'll stay in the same locations our signs are right now. We shouldn't have an issue.
yeah, I think that's the simplest solution. We don't change the sign locations. We're just swapping out signs. I think that helps with justification, especially because I think Mike, ODOT has to approve this too, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. They do have an ODOT inspector that goes down, and they actually supersede our zoning as far as some of the signs, but we'll make sure we get their approval as well.
Well, I would think 43 South and 18 East, they just have little dinky signs. That would be the only place where it would actually look different. The other two, we would just knock down the sign that's already there, put it right in the same spot.
now there's a pretty good sign down on 18 East, John. It's up by the trees.
Oh,
There's one that says Brimfield Township Limits, which is the road sign.
yeah.
Just up the road from Willowbrook, there is a sign there that says Brimfield Township.
Oh,
Bigger.
okay. I'll have to look now. Well, this is just my opinion. I'm all for proceeding with this. We have the money to do it, and it's up to the board to decide which option we want to go with. But I like the one that's on the screen right now, the $16,000 one.
we can take this column, can be put on this side too. So we can decide, I would always put the sign, the lettering part of the sign closest to the road and put the column, you know.
Okay.
And it all depends on what side of the road. You might, I mean, are you always going to put this on the, you know, the side of the road coming into town? Not necessarily, you don't have to do that. If you have a better place for it to turn it, you know, you don't necessarily have to put it on the side that you're driving in on, just for property wise, you know. But we can put this column on either side. So.
Okay. Yeah, I think it would be switched for all of them.
Yeah.
Where our signs are at now are all on the right-hand side of the street.
So unless you want the column out towards that side to maybe take the, when the car tries to run it over, they hit that first.
So what do you guys think? Do you want to think about it? How do we want to go about this?
I don't need to think about it.
Oh, we need a motion on the floor, and then we can kind of have that discussion. So I'll make a motion to install 4 large base monuments through graphic design for entries into the township.
I'll second that.
Oh, go ahead, sir. Yep.
2 seconds. All right, so for discussion, John, I know we put a lot of projects off this year, and we've been kind of just banking some cash for those what ifs, and we're getting ready for next disbursement for next year. You're comfortable from the fiscal standpoint to move forward with this project?
Yeah, because I have money in the JED, and I think this is a perfect opportunity to spend it there, which I can't use for playing. I mean, it's just sitting there right now with no plan set aside for it.
Okay.
I think this would be a great spot to do it with.
It's all about.
And we'll pull from both the Kent and Talmadge JED then to fund this?
I'll take a portion from both, but I don't have enough to
Well, John, the
equally
majority.
split it, I think.
John, the majority of it will have to come from the Talmadge JED.
Right, because that's where we have the big chunk of money at.
Right. So a quarter from Kent and 3/4 from Talmadge.
Yep.
Yeah, because okay.
Yeah, because officially, all 3 of them are in the Talmadge JED, 18
Right.
South. So,
Right.
okay. Yeah, so I'd split it a quarter in Kent and 3/4 in Talmadge.
Okay. I think the only other thing that I would ask, wouldn't be part of this project, but Cassie, if you could work with Craig from Graphic Detail there and start talking about getting a similar signage prototype put together for the parks. I'd like to start to see what that looks like too. What, you know, those, and it'd just be our park entry signs there. But at least let's get some prototypes of that drawn up so that could be a 2021 discussion.
Yeah, and you know, maybe when she's doing it, maybe we don't need such a big one for the park entrances.
Yeah, I don't think we would go with the small base design, and maybe it gets a little skinnier too, but I still want to have, I think we need to have the marketing, right? The symbolism
Right.
throughout the entire township. So we have that same base and sign outline.
Hey, Craig,
Yes.
could you keep the same design, the base with the tower, but on a smaller footprint for the parks?
You could, but I wouldn't do a tower because when you do these stone, you have corners and they come in. You can't really go 3. You want to keep your column at 3 foot. Anything less than that, it looks, you're putting like a cornerstone against a cornerstone.
Oh, okay.
It can be done, but you know, and what I'm going to do is I will take this over to Mike, my designer, this idea for the parks, and I will have drawings for next by your next meeting for that. I'll work up all the park drawings before you guys have your next township. Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah, just make sure you work with Cassie on that. On the, you know, I want similar color scheme, but I also want to keep that park logo going. So I think we'll have to work with Cassie, make sure she's involved in that design process.
So, yeah, thank you, everybody. I appreciate the business. This really helps. You know, I I've managed not to lay anybody off through COVID. It's been tough trying to stay in business when 90% of my business comes from restaurants. But we're getting through. We're hoping for like a really amazing 2021. So
You and me both.
Yeah.
Well, we
Well,
still
we do have,
a motion on the
yeah,
floor.
there's a motion on the floor. So is there any other discussion? Otherwise, I need a roll call vote, John.
Let me
approval of the
read it
sign.
here real quick, just so we know what we're voting on. Move to install four large base entrance welcome signs through graphic detail. The cost would be $16,000 a sign times 4, $64,000 total. And it would be paid out of the Talmadge M&I 75% and out of the Kent M&I 25%. The signs will be erected on 43 and 18 at the Brimfield borders.
Can you add in there?
Yep.
Wait, can you add in there? We want the ground lighting kit,
Okay.
just so that we're all clear on what we're doing. So it's not the illuminated sign; it's the LED bar on the ground.
With the pillar,
Yeah.
correct?
yes.
Yes.
Okay. Ground lighting kit with the pillar. All right. All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue.
Yes.
Motion passed. So Craig, we'll be getting a purchase order out, and then you just, and Mike, Mike and Dave, can you guys figure out where we need to place them through
Yeah,
Mike Collins and whatever else we need to do?
Yeah, Dave and I will start with Craig and meet up with him, look at the locations, and then go through ODOT and the county, make sure we're all good.
Okay.
Well, I have a question. Do we have the pillar on the left-hand side or the right-hand side?
I
will do layouts. Once we know the locations, I will give you a layout of the sign on every location, and we will put the column in the right, on the correct side at on those layouts.
Okay, thank you.
Because we're going to have the sign facing the road and the pillar on the right of the sign then.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Good.
Thanks, Craig.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And I'll get with you guys, we'll get it going for you. Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks.
We'll just wait for him to, there we go. Okay, perfect. He stopped sharing. All right. We have no other meeting guests today. I now need a motion to accept today's agenda.
I will make that motion, Nick.
Second.
All right. Any discussion, changes? Hearing none. John, we need roll call?
Yeah, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue.
Yes.
Motion passed.
All right. Purchase orders. I went to the town hall last night. I'll make a motion to accept the purchase orders.
Second.
All those in favor, Mike,
I have to abstain.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Warrants. I reviewed the warrants last night. I need a motion I'll make a motion to approve.
So moved.
Yeah, all those in favor, Mike,
Abstain.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Meeting minutes. I don't see it here, but we do have meeting minutes that need approved. We need to start with the 2 meetings on October 21st, but I need to abstain from that because I was not at those meetings. So I need a motion for those.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Abstain.
Sue.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Then we have meeting minutes from November 4th. We had a public hearing and a regular meeting. I'll make a motion to approve both sets of meeting minutes.
I'll second.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue.
Yes.
Motion passed.
All right. Public comments and questions. Anybody have any public comments or questions to be read?
Hey, Nick, can I say something?
Sure.
I just had a phone call from a person who's a little upset they can't get cemetery lots right now because we don't have no way to sell. Rochelle's off sick, so they're just concerned, and I just wanted to bring it up. because they called and asked if I could sell them lots, and I can't do that.
Dave,
Yeah,
this is Craig. Hey, if it's the same person that stopped in yesterday, we explained to them very clearly that Rochelle would be back in a couple of days, and we would take care of that.
well, that's what I told the person. She was all, all sick. They're like, well, can't somebody else just do it? So I'm just bringing it up. They asked me if I'd bring it up. So
Yeah, as far as we're concerned, we took care of that, and we would follow back up.
It doesn't hurt, Craig, though. I think this is something we should just add to our list as we move forward. That's another cross-training area, be it Cassie, be it
We have
from
4,
over
I would
fiscal.
think. Kirsten,
Yeah,
Lauren,
we just
Cassie, and Rochelle would be great if they all knew how to do it.
Right.
so we just need to identify that and then make that part of a job description for cross-train. And I'll just leave that up to you, Craig, of where you want to put that at.
Okay. Yeah, as we do the new chem site, I think that's the time to do that.
Okay. All right. I did have public comment / safety concern. There was a recent traffic accident at 18 and Sandy Lake. That was a fatality. There's been a lot of comments on social media, and I've also had several phone calls of residents concerned about that intersection. They'd like to see that intersection with some type of better identification, warning lights. People have tossed out ideas of asking for street lights, flashing lights, whatever it is, but something needs to be brought to the attention because there's been several near misses people have said that they've been involved in there too, that maybe we're just not capturing because people continue motoring on down the road. I believe those are both county roads, correct, Dave?
yes.
Yes.
Is there a way in the interim while we try to come up with some type of solution for that intersection that we could work with the county to maybe put flashing lights around the stop sign, like those stop signs that have the solar box that flash to remind people to stop there? Because they say the issue is they see a lot of people rolling or not stopping at those stop signs on Sandy Lake, and that's where the near misses and accidents come from.
Well, that we would have to reach out, say like the Mike Collins, bring it to their attention and say something. I mean, I can't guarantee nothing, but we can ask, see what they say.
Hey, Nick, we had issues over there before, and the business owner who was on the corner asked me to call, and I called Mickey Marazzi, and there's 2 intersections, and they basically said there's not enough accidents to warrant them doing anything.
Hoff, we were the ones who put in the stop sign. If we can just get their permission.
Because there's 2 things. I talked to him about the guy in 18 that was putting up the poles when you turn on to Sherman. And the other thing, because in the winter, what happens is water keeps coming over that road because it doesn't get accepted into things. So it freezes and it causes people to slide through. And it was just not important enough for the county to take care of it. They came out and dug out the ditch and they said that solved it. But if it wasn't for the property owner there that keeps cleaning out the catch basins, it would be worse of a problem. So we really need to maybe address it again. Maybe Mike Collins will help us. I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe it's a good topic to ask Mike Collins or Mickey Marazzi to join our next meeting to represent them and have that discussion, because I believe that ended up being a fatality at that intersection. Is that correct, Roy? Yes. Okay. So, once again, I hate to look at it this way, but statistics drive decisions sometimes at those levels. So maybe that's the piece that we need to get something put in there. But it is a big concern. There's a lot of residents that seem to be pretty frustrated with that intersection that live over there.
Yeah, I did go drive by and look at the signage, and when you're coming down 18 towards Rootstown, they have 2 big signs on both sides of the road, but it's pretty far back. So I don't know if that's how they're required to do them, but that was the only additional signage I noticed.
Yeah, we can just get some type of flashing, something to catch people's attention, or even, I don't want to put a street light there, but if we could get flashing yellow lights there or stop lights to remind people, I think people get distracted and they just zip on through that intersection for some reason.
Right.
Yeah, and that particular accident, just to clarify, was somebody completely went through the stop sign, wasn't paying attention, and that was the cause of that crash.
So
So once
maybe,
again, yeah, so if we had some type of indicator, maybe that might have had an impact to catch their attention.
maybe we should have Dave, contact Mike Collins and see what they could work out, then bring it back to us.
Dave, can you work on that for the next meeting?
Yeah, I got to talk to Mike today anyway about something else, so I'll bring it up then.
Okay. Yeah, because I know that they were going to reach out to the commissioners, a couple residents too, about it. So just like us to be ahead of the curve in the discussion.
Okay.
All right. Any other safety comments or questions? Okay. Hearing none, we'll move into our business portion of the meeting. Police Department, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Nick. Just a couple items for you guys this morning. I just want to give you an update. I know we had a discussion at our last meeting regarding the impound lot. And as a follow-up to that discussion, I put together a draft RFP for towing services. That is in the hands of Mark Guidetti now. Mark and I spoke on the phone towards the latter part of last week. He has that in his hands. He's taking a look at that. Once I get feedback from him and we've kind of gone over that document, I will follow back up with you guys as a board to discuss that. But right now that's in the hands of legal. I just wanted to give you an update on that piece. I wanted to briefly bring you up to speed on our Shop with a Cop this year. As you know, traditionally this time of year, we're pretty heavily involved in things like our Breakfast with the Santa event, where John Dalziel graciously puts on his outfit and shows up at our breakfast event at Applebee's, followed by our Shop with the Cop event that we do as well with Applebee's and Walmart. This year, obviously with COVID, everything has kind of gone upside down with that, but we are doing what we're kind of calling a modified Shop with the Cop this year. And we're making arrangements to get the names of 20 different kids. And we're putting together some gift bags with gift cards included, and also a personalized embroidered blanket we'll be giving each one of the kids to. And what we're going to do is take those gift bags and then we're going to deliver those to the homes of those kids in the community. So it's a little bit different way of doing things, but it still allows us to do something that's a kind of a good community partnership over the holidays in light of COVID-19. So we're adjusting on how we're handling that this year, given the circumstances that we're in. Wanted to give just one piece of update information. Back in March, the board approved a motion to purchase one Ford Interceptor Cruiser. At that time, the price was authorized at $23,571. Just wanted to give you an update. That price is actually going to be a little less. That vehicle's in, and we're going to be processing a PO to Park Ford, but we had a couple of older vehicles that we were able to trade in to kind of knock that price down a little more. So our final price is actually going to be $18,071 for the car purchase. Doesn't require any action on your part as a board, but we knocked that price down a little bit with getting rid of a couple of old vehicles. I just wanted to make you aware of that. I do have one item that's going to require board approval this morning. I need board authorization to process a purchase order in the amount of $8,553 to Midwest Public Safety, and that is for our cloud-based video storage solution for the department. This is a planned expense for us, but I do need board authorization to process that PO.
I'll make a motion to accept the Midwest Public Safety cloud-based video storage system at a cost not to exceed $8,553.
Okay, I will second that.
Okay, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
That's all I have for you this morning, unless you have any questions for me at this time.
No? All right, thank you for your report.
Thank you.
Craig, Fire Department, you're up.
Okay, just a couple quick things real quick. We're starting our fire station admin building planning meetings. We actually have our first big one today. It involves the USDA, Moody Nolan, and fiscal office, and anybody else who wants to attend. But this will start laying the groundwork for where we move forward. So just wanted to give you an update on that. Trustees, if you want to loop in, I will loop you in as it goes, or if you just want me to update you as it goes, because there's going to be 100 different meetings all the time, I probably would go that route. COVID update. Numbers in the county keep increasing. We were at probably 400 Monday of last week, and we're up pushing 900 now in the county. I have not broke down exactly what's in Brimfield, but we know those numbers are increasing, and as you see with the governor, he's putting new mandates in place. But just an update, I'll forward those to you guys periodically, so you nothing groundbreaking.
Point of clarification.
Yeah.
Craig, is that 900 active cases or is that 900 cases since onset? It's active cases, correct?
Active cases.
Okay.
So those change daily. So it may be 850 today and it may be 600 tomorrow because they hit that 14-day cutoff and now it's less, or it could be more. So it's changing every day, but the consistent number is increasing. So take that as you will. And really, that's just what we're dealing with right now. We are seeing cases increase in the fire department consistently. We have one of the new guys, he gets them constantly every time he's on. So he's that cloud. So, but that's it for the fire department right now.
Okay.
Going into administration, I just want to remind everybody that we did a couple meetings ago enacted township policy, and please review that names are essential versus non-essential workers, and that will kind of guide us on how we proceed if we are mandated to take a COVID test or come down with those symptoms or not symptoms. I think the biggest thing we're seeing right now is, hey, I've been in contact with someone in contact, what do I do? You know, so we have to have a game plan for that, which we do.
Hey, Greg and Brian, did we have Lauren set up so that she could go home?
Yeah, we have a laptop for Lauren.
Okay.
I'll make sure that she's making progress on that. I'll check in
Okay.
today.
All right, thanks.
John, for your office with COVID, do we have good plans and policies in place related to the potential reimbursements of funds for employees out on COVID leave? Are we tracking that and handling that financial piece?
Yes, we. If you saw one of the employees, we had a double pay. We had to recalculate it, so there was 2 transactions today. So you would see that, but that's tracking one of our employees.
Okay.
But we are.
And then, okay, I just want to make sure we're grabbing all those funds that we can, because this is obviously going to roll over into 2021 now.
Oh, you're talking about
Craig,
getting reimbursed for all the funding.
No. I'm just talking about payroll. I just want to make sure we're doing the payroll thing, because I think it's only set to go till the end of 2020, the payroll piece. I don't know what's going to happen in 2021. We're still waiting to hear at the federal level.
Yes, we are. We are handling the payroll side.
Okay. And then the other question with COVID-19, have we started that assessment yet, Craig? Because that's the documentation piece that Ohio Department of Health wanted, and we need it from a safety side too, where we identify. I had sent that to you a month ago, that safety assessment sheet.
Yeah, no, we haven't. We brought it up at the meeting I think you weren't at, and then we tabled it. So
okay.
we haven't. I mean, we internally document, and I can't speak for the other departments. Maybe they do too. But as far as filling out the 3 pages of paperwork, no, we have not done that.
So we should do so what I'm talking about is there needs to be a COVID safety assessment done in the facility to identify how we're going to best protect our employees. We're already doing the actions. We just need it documented on a piece of paper for Ohio Department of Health and Portage County Health District. And then we should be tracking to our employees our daily checks. I don't know what fire, police, and road are doing, and admin, if we're doing temperature checks at the beginning of every shift, if we're verifying employees are healthy when they arrive. But we should be making sure we're maintaining that documentation, because we're seeing a greater push, not from the county level now, but from the state level, the Department of Health, making sure everybody's complying with rules and regulations. If you need some help on that paperwork, I can get in my email and send it back out to everybody. It doesn't need to be real detailed. We just need to verify that people are healthy.
Hey, Nick, what we did, and I got it through Ohio, the COVID, as a thing for Mike's place. What we do is we have a checklist. They come in every morning, get their temp, and they have to go through the whole 9 or 10 symptoms things where they have to check off whether they have any. And it says if you have 2 or more of these symptoms to notify your manager. That way it protects us because we're asking. Because what they told me was you don't want to just sit there and ask somebody if they have things. You need to document it. So there's a lot of people, they're just going to say, I don't have anything, but you need to document it. And it's worked out very effective for us. So,
Yeah, that's similar to what I had sent to Craig, was a Ohio document. I know for my wife, they have to call in on a hotline every morning before they go to work and just manually enter yes or no with keys on their phone to get clearance to work for the day.
yeah, I think it's good because a lot of people forget the symptoms. You know, might as well put it in their face and let them see it.
It just protects us too. It protects the township.
Does the PD and fire already do that? Craig?
No, I document our temperatures and stuff, but I don't do a full checklist for everything.
Do you have another temperature gauge? Because we're not doing that at all over here.
Yeah, you should be.
Do you have an extra?
I guess the question is, are we taking that and are we creating our own list, or we're taking that list and that's what everybody should be doing?
Well, we're not checking anybody's temperature when they come to work every day.
No,
I think we need a unified document for the entire township, just a similar form. So we're all filling out the same document every day, but each department head would be responsible for maintaining those records. So Roy would maintain his records of his staff. Craig, you would maintain your staff. Dave, you'd maintain your staff records at your office there.
But we're requiring a temperature check, though. Is that what we're doing?
We should be, yeah. I believe that's still part of the Ohio Department of Health regulations. Just companies have gotten lax, and this is why we're seeing a hard push again.
Right.
Craig, do you have an extra one?
Yes.
Can you get one over here?
Yes.
And it's not so much the temperature anymore because they're saying that that's not always the true thing. You got all those other 9 or 10 symptoms, you know, so.
So Craig and Roy, do you have a general sheet already? Or Mike, do you have one at the restaurant that we can change, coordinate over here?
Yeah, I'll send you one, John.
Okay,
You can see
thanks.
what we do.
All right, I'll get that in place over here.
Just to clarify, I'll follow up with Craig mentioned. No, we've not been doing daily temp checks of our officers. The officers have been made aware of having symptoms and reporting those symptoms, and we have the temperature check device available, but we've not been mandating that they get checked every day coming in.
Yeah, I think we need to start doing that again and then logging that on a sheet. Whoever wants to take the lead on this project to get the final sheet from Mike and put our letterhead on it, that's fine. But I just want to make sure each department's using the same sheet so we have the same protocol in place. And then just maintain those records. I'm not looking for you to turn those into us or into John. Just maintain them internally through this COVID situation.
John does the records and stuff.
Yeah,
Maybe-
I'll get it. Just Mike, send that over to me, and then I'll send it out to everybody, department heads.
Okay.
And while we're talking about this COVID, Chief Greg, now they're talking about not giving the vaccine to the first responders. Have they said anything to you?
No, I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, because
Months back, we sent the MOU that allows us to have the option first, but I haven't heard anything since.
Well, I hope they would get that for you. I mean, because Pfizer just announced their product is 95% up from 90% effective. And they're doing the paperwork today, and they're hoping in the next 2 days they're going to start shipping it.
Well, another subject we'll have to breach at that point is can we or do we require it? Because I know some people are against.
Yeah, I don't think you can require it, but boy,
Well, no, I think you can, because at least the health systems have. Yeah, I know for like the health system is mandatory. You have to have a flu shot or you don't have a job.
Okay.
It's another subject we'll have to breach.
Well, it's definitely something you ought to look into. If we could have our firefighters and police and everybody, you know, protected, I think it would be big.
I assume they will notify us as soon as they have something.
Right. As you said,
and I think for
your officers are going into a lot of situations now with COVID.
Yes, constantly.
So
probably every other shift.
See, that's very important that we can protect our employees.
I think for the mandation point of that, Craig, I would lean on you to talk to our health director that we work with and get their recommendation on what they think is the best protocol.
Right.
Okay.
All right. Anything else with COVID?
I hate to just keep dragging this through, but hey, Roy, now that you're going to be in charge of the curfew, what's your thoughts?
You hear me okay?
Yeah.
So I listened to the governor's press conference yesterday afternoon, and I was on a conference call through the Ohio Chiefs Association with a couple of staff members from the governor's office talking about the curfew. And in a nutshell, there are 1,000,001 exemptions that are built into that curfew language. I haven't had a chance to see the final document. The feedback from the law enforcement side, and generally the feedback from the governor's staff, is it's a soft enforcement approach. So what that means is we're obviously not going to be out looking at every car that's on the road at 10:30 at night and wondering somehow they're violating the order and they're going to get pulled over by the police. That's simply not going to happen. Their approach is really not much different from what we're doing now. If we get called to a business right now, they're going to tell you at 10 o'clock the business needs to shut down, but there's a lot of exemptions built in for that. If somebody's out getting medicine, food, caring for a family member, going to work, there are a ton of things built into that. We would come down to a retail outlet if they had a problem with a customer that's causing disturbance, and we would have to leave. But I don't know that this is going to be a big change in what we're doing right now. I'm not sure what effect doing something from 10p to 5a has. I heard the governor's explanation of that, and I understand that. But from a law enforcement perspective, I just don't want to create the impression that people hear the word curfew and somehow that means they just can't be on the road after 10 o'clock, because that's really not the case. So from a perspective, I just don't see that being something we're going to be, or any law enforcement is going to be heavy-handed in at all. I just don't foresee that.
Right. Listening to his speak, I mean, it's very open-ended. So, okay, thanks, Roy.
Yeah.
Moving on.
All right. Yep, CARES Act you have on there?
Yeah, so I did get the language back from Greg Beck that we put in place for how we want to spend the COVID CARES Act money. I relayed that plan to them. They put it in a resolution form and got it back to me. So I just need approval for that. Because we're not meeting, I don't have a copy in front of you. I can pull it up on the screen share if you want real quick, just to kind of quickly look at it if you want. Or if we can just get approval, it's exactly what we talked about before.
Okay.
So Nick, Mike, Sue, you tell me, do you want to see it real quick?
I would like to make a motion that we accept the reports from our attorney and his recommendations on this issue.
Okay, I'll second for discussion.
Craig, is this, so he just took our recommendations and put it into the legal form. We're just going to disperse that through the payroll plus the admin pieces we had already identified.
Right. I'll just share it real quick. It's nothing secret here. No. Oh, never mind. Maybe I won't. Hold on, let me try one more time. Can you see that or no?
Hang on, it's coming up. Yep, resolution, here it is.
Yeah, so it just put it into a basic resolution form and talks about the CARES Act funding and what we need to put in place, and this should cover us for the auditor. So I had Nancy look at it over there. You know, talks about the disbursement, exactly what we talked about throughout to spend all of the funds.
Well, we have to change that number though, Craig.
What number?
The $192,000.
Why is that?
It should be 372,249.24.
Well, in here, it talks about the extra at some point. I don't know. We don't have to do approval today. I can send it to you guys first. You can take a look at it, and then we can go from there.
Yeah, I just want to make sure it's right. So I'd rather table this right now and take a look at it
I'll withdraw my
to make
motion.
sure that's done. Okay, so Sue withdrew her motion. Can we just table that? Because we still got time till next, because we just have to have this done by the end of the year, correct?
Right, and I will email it to you in the next few minutes, and you'll have it in front of you.
Okay, perfect.
Since we're on that subject, I have to get appropriations approved for the COVID in the salary amount. We had it at 113,538. I need to make it 372, 249.24. It can be plugged into that form later and done all that, but I just want to get the approval for appropriations for the budget committee. So I need a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the appropriations for budget committee for COVID funds.
Get a second.
Second.
All those in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Motion passed. Thank you.
Okay, you guys
Just got it, Craig.
You guys have that in an email right now. So.
Yep.
Take a look.
Okay. Anything else under admin?
No, that's it.
I did have a couple things under admin, just points of conversation. First, John handbook. Where are we at on the update of that? 2 weeks ago, he said that he was getting close to getting something done. Any
Yeah, I
update?
think he's just getting bombarded with the COVID stuff. We're using Greg Beck from Baker, which he hasn't
Okay.
given me an update with anything, but I'll ask him again today.
I just like to try to roll that out by January 1, so we start the new year with new signatures.
Yeah, he told me he was going to get right on it, but I haven't received anything back from him yet. But I'll send an email. I'll copy you in again.
Okay. We need to continue moving forward with our 5-year plan and our land use plan. With Mike Ladd out over the past 2 weeks, we didn't have our meeting with the Portage Development Board. We need to reschedule that. This is where we're going to look at what we did during our SWOT analysis and set those 1, 3, and 5-year goals. Discussion on that. It will be a virtual meeting, but I need a date so we can send that off to Todd Peets. We'll start with Mike. I know your schedule's crazy with the restaurant right now. What days of the week are better for you and times of the day are better for you?
It depends if the governor shuts us down tomorrow. I might have lots of days, so.
We're staying hopeful.
Mondays are okay. I mean, I have 2 managers there, so I could leave for a bit. And we have no catering anymore at the party center, so I could probably do it on a Monday.
So Mondays are.
Yep.
Can you do afternoons on Monday, or does it need to be in the morning?
Whatever.
Okay.
I mean, I
Sue,
think
do you?
a little busy now, so.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to shoot for. I'm pulling up my calendar now. I think Mondays we have staff meetings to prep for the week.
I mean,
so I can do Monday afternoons are good.
I could do Tuesdays if you want.
Let's shoot for Monday afternoon because I can be back in the house by that time. Sue, does Mondays work for you?
Yeah, Monday afternoon will be all right for me too.
Let's shoot for. Let's see if anybody has issues with this. I got to give him time to get things put together. How does Monday, December 7th at 3 p.m. look?
Sounds good to me.
Do you need me at that meeting? Because that's not going to work for me. That's the last day of Medicare open enrollment. And I usually get 50 people show up at my door.
John, if we pushed it to Monday, the 14th of December, would that be better for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else have issues? Because all department heads are going to need to be there too. We'll do it on Zoom, but.
Yeah, the 14th's fine.
All right, so I'm going to propose this to Todd Peets, Monday, December 14th, 3 p.m. This will be a information gathering session to discuss departmental goals based on SWOT analysis and moving forward with that 5-year plan.
3 p.m.
3 p.m.
And it's virtual.
Yep. Unless for some reason COVID disappears in that amount of time.
Thought it was supposed to go at the end of the election.
Yeah, I thought so too. And then last, this is just kind of because I know we have public that listens, but also for members of the trustees here. There are 2 things going on legislatively. One is the Ohio Department of Jobs and Family Services has opened applications for nonprofit grants through the CARES Act. So any 501c3 agencies that are providing direct services to low-income or at-risk Ohioans could be eligible for a grant. Please contact the Ohio Department or Ohio Department of Jobs and Family Services for that. So there's some grant funding for 501c3s. Secondly, this is going to go on the floor of the legislature here at the state of Ohio. They're trying to pass this before end of term. Senate Bill 212. Mike Ladd, I don't know if this would be of interest to you, but the bill would allow a new tool for townships to enter into a neighborhood development area, an NDA, with a local city. So that's just another tool that they have put on the Senate floor for approval by end of year.
I mean, we're sort of doing that anyway with our JEDs, but yeah, it works.
So we'll watch it. It just might be another tool for your toolbox if they have coming out.
Absolutely.
All right. Anything else under admin? All right. Hearing none. Mike Ladd, the floor is yours. Zoning and economic.
Thank you. So tonight, our virtual Board of Zoning Appeals is 7 o'clock. We do have sheets on. We have several letters that I know Lauren, when I was out, was able to get those posted with Kayla and Rochelle. Lauren did a good job. She's learning. I've been, in contact with either her or Kayla every day while I was gone, and everything seemed to go well. The update on the money, I don't have today. I have it up to November 3rd. I will be updating that because there's several $1,000s sitting on my desk and checks that we have to enter yet. But zoning commission for November is canceled. There was nothing on the agenda. I talked to Todd. We will do that again in December and start pushing along with the comprehensive land use plan. Maple Crest West has several businesses looking in to come next year. This is both professional and retail for Maple Crest West. Kanata Companies is still purchasing the old Holiday Inn property. Mark is working with their attorney for a TIF. Sheets is applied to the BZA. That's tonight for the conditional use. They also have several variance requests. I do have a memo that we're going to read into record tonight from Mark Adetti in regards to alcohol sales and tobacco sales in proximity to the schools, and to see what he was able to come up with. There was nothing in the books that we could find. So I did have him do some research last week, and then it's going to be read into the record. Most of it has to do with the liquor license itself. Wave Wash Car Wash has applied for conditional use, Maple Crest West. That's on tonight. Our comprehensive land use plan, I think we're updated on that already. Thank you, Nick, for that meeting. Hickory Creek PRD was approved, and they're now at regional planning. There is some work started there. They do have preliminary approvals from the county engineer to get started. I've had several calls on that and people wondering what's going on and why there's construction over there by Sugar Maples, but that's what it is. It's Hickory Creek. It's the next phase of the Sugar Maple Hills. Working with Oakwood Acres. This one's been sitting for years and years. Developer is finalizing his plans with the county, and then we're going back to regional planning. That road, I don't know why it was built the way it was years ago, but it's so super small, you can't get 2 cars down it. So that one is going to be redone to county standards, and there will be new homes. The homes that they're proposing look to be in the $400,000 range, so they look like they're more upscale. And of course, we went over the sign options with GDI. I think that's going to be a big step for Brimfield. I think it's going to, the signs make it look more upscale. I think it's going to class it up a lot. And then the fees that we had before on November 3rd totaled $131,471. I would anticipate with the checks that we have outstanding right now, we're about $140. It looks like we'll still have our highest year that we ever did with zoning permits. And that concludes my report.
All right, thank you for that update. Any questions for zoning and economic development?
Hey, Mike, I know you just got back, but I know we have a property on 18, that house.
Yes, the 1435.
Yeah, it looks like it's getting worse.
Yeah.
Are we sure there's not a
last time I missed I was in surgery the last meeting.
Right.
You guys gave him, from what I'm seeing, a 30-day extension, was it?
No, he got a 90-day extension for 2/3/21. By then, he has to provide to us evidence of rehab of that building, meaning he had to meet with the building department, get a punch list of what needs to be done to make it habitable, and then find contracts and bids in order to execute that work. We give him 90 days to gather all that information and get it before us. And then at that point, we would tell him if he can continue or if we're going to demolish it. We did encourage him, if he got that information faster, to get it to us sooner, and then we would look at another extension for the actual work. But that is his deadline, is 2/3/21. I believe there's 1 or 2 emails out to you talking about that, but I want to make sure we follow up on that hard deadline.
Right, and I mean, my concern is operating a business out of there now.
Well, and then, you know, that's part of it as well. That's what prompted our search warrants and why the judge signed it was, you know, it was abandoned and he was running a business, and the pictures that she was given, you know, she clearly seen the business being run out of there, and she was upset about it as well and said we need to get it cleaned up. So I think the judge is in the right place. I think if he cooperates and starts cleaning it up, there's not going to be an issue. I think, but within 90 days, we have to be prepared to, you know, I'll take pictures as we go. I'll just periodically go out there once a week, snap pictures of the progress. And if there's no progress in 90 days, then we have to make a decision what we're going to do with it. I know he did do a public records request while I was out, and I seen it. I sent it off to Brett because Brett has our entire file. That way he can, you know, anything that's attorney-client privilege or addresses, whatever he needs to redact out of that, he could do that at that point. So I left that one basically up to him because it is in the courts. So.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. Anything else for zoning? Not. Thank you for your report. Road Department, Dave, you're up.
All right. Well, morning, everybody. Just want to let you know the catch basin work that we put out there is completed and everything's up and going good on that. Right now we're working on some storm damage cleanup. Our chipper, a piece broke on it. The piece should be in today so we can finish that project up. We've been working on the roadways, doing some ditching, dirt patching, and some asphalt repairs, getting ready for winter. Slowly buttoning that areas up. Been cleaning up some leaves and at the town hall and parks, getting them removed and getting them out of the way. We did have, it's not on my report, but we did have to put some salt down yesterday on Malloy Road. The road's north of 76 because of the snow. It started turning some icy conditions. On the agenda, I need the trustees to sign a change order for our projects for Selnick and Malloy Culvert projects. The original cost of the project was $129,817.83. Actually, the change order is to lower the price of the job by $7,734.23 for a new total of $122,083.60. But I need you guys, have you guys just sign this paperwork where we can finish up the OPWC grant and get that funding taken care of for the year.
Do you have it?
Do you need a?
Yeah, I got it. I need the trustees' signatures on it.
Okay.
Can you take it to the fiscal office and then we can just swing in there and sign it at the fiscal office?
Yes, that's fine.
Do we need a motion on the floor, John, for that?
No, we don't. It's just a signature on a, yeah, we don't need anything.
Okay. Yeah, Dave, if you drop that off and then just let us know when it's there, we can all take turns swinging up there to sign it at some point.
Okay, because I'll actually drop it off after we get done with the trustee meeting today.
Okay.
And that concludes my report.
All right, thank you. Any questions for roads?
Well,
all right, hearing none, we'll move on to Parks and Rec. Cassie, the floor is yours.
All right. Good morning. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. I just have a few informational pieces for the board today. The first one is about our Christmas events. Our community Christmas drive-through is Sunday, November 29th from 5 to 7 p.m. And then the Township Christmas Lighting Contest will officially, the judging will officially begin on November 29th, right after the Christmas drive-through. And the winners will be announced on December 6th. And then the first place winner from that contest will be placed in an overall contest with Rootstown, Suffield, Talmadge, and Atwater. And the overall winner of that will be announced on December 19th. We have 19 participants from Brimfield, so that's really awesome. Really great response from the community.
That's real good.
Yeah. And I'm creating a downloadable map and a list of addresses that people can download to go visit the houses. The Parks Advisory Committee, the first official meeting will be January 27th, 2021 at 6:30 p.m. Virtual. And we're planning on holding our meetings every third Thursday. And right now in the interim, I'm asking them to work on a park survey where they're individually visiting the parks and rating our facilities and our infrastructure and our scenery and everything in our parks. And we'll go over that at our first meeting in January.
Will we have them at the Christmas drive-through event? Will they be working that with us?
Yes, I have a few people from the Parks Committee that will be there.
Okay, perfect.
Are they judging? Are they going to be the ones that judge the Christmas lights, or who do you have doing that?
No, I'm not sure who's going to be our judge yet. I know I'm going to be one of the judges. Whoever wants to be a judge can.
I volunteered my wife.
And I know Nick,
I think all three trustees should go around, do it, and turn it into Cassie. Then she can average those up. Then, whoever else you need to do it. But I think all of us should be involved. I think this is a great project, and the more involvement we have in support of the community, I think is important.
You want the fiscal officer in or just trustees?
anybody who wants
too.
to.
All right.
Could we get a designated driver and we can drink Christmas ale before we go?
Sure,
Can
we'll
we
take
have
the
Roy
party
drive us
car.
around?
Yeah, I'll drive you guys around.
Just kidding, guys.
And then I have a couple of updates on Cranberry Creek Park. Thanks to Nancy, Cranberry Creek Park has an official address now. If you were to look on Google Maps, it's always said it's basically between two addresses. It was like 2146 to 22 something. It officially is 2211 Lynn Road now. So that's exciting. And I think it was last month, the Girl Scouts were holding a recruitment event at the pavilion, and we noticed that the electric was not properly hooked up. So Nancy and I are working to get that hooked up on the pavilion. And I know we were talking about installing a floodlight on the one side of the pavilion to shine on the sledding hill also. So
Great.
yep.
That's why we needed the address too.
Yes.
Because Ohio Edison couldn't come out and do anything yet. They have to run the electric, and then John Matthews is going to do stuff at the pavilion, putting lights up.
Yep. And that concludes my report.
All right. Any questions for Parks and Rec? I'm just excited for the Christmas drive-through event. We hope this to be very, very big.
Me too.
Roy, I'm not sure how this is going to impact you with traffic control that night, but I'm hoping for lots of cars. So that should be an interesting night. All right. Anything else? Hearing none. Cemetery, there is no action.
I did want
And
to report for the cemetery. I did
Okay.
just make a comment here that I'll be getting with Craig this next week, and I'm looking at having proposals from Portage Marble for the columbarium.
for the walk. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Anything else on cemetery?
No,
All right.
quiet over there.
Fiscal. Yeah, that's how we want it.
Nothing from the fiscal office.
Okay, everything looking good? All right, anything else for the good of the order? Hearing none, I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor at 9:29 to adjourn the meeting. Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue.
Yes.
We are adjourned at 9:29. Everybody have a good day.
Thank you, everyone.
Good day,
Everybody
everybody.
have a good day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.